Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille. Today is, 12 of August 2020. Welcome to video number 229. Today I want to look on change and how do we really approach it, and what do we supposed to know about knowing or approaching any kind of change, not to fail in that process. Yesterday I talked about being a gentleman and how you can do that in 3 easy steps, and that was kind of a logical conclusion for me to talk about what you're supposed to know and how you're really supposed to approach change, not to end up really making struggling with something and ending up on a completely different place. So there are 3 things that you need to understand about change to make this thing a worldwide thing. First of all, I want you to kind of think about it. What is the reason I make this change? And there are like 2 major motivators, or things that kind of pushes you to do something different or reach for something else. And if you're kind of if you are in self-development, you don't have to, but if you are, you probably heard that many times. There are 2 major motivators. First of all, it's pain. Second is pleasure. And that's kind of obvious. That's a well-known thing. But if you're planning to make a change, if you really want to do something different, or kind of really find yourself to be a different person in a near future, you need to know if that change that you want to do, is it based or motivated by pain or pleasure. Because I've seen some of people, and you probably it probably is familiar with for you as well, that because we don't understand our reasons why we do things, we end up thinking and doing completely different things. And one of the basic things that examples that I can tell you is the situation that I saw a few times, that the person is saying that they listen, I want to make some change. I want to move. I want to change cities. I want to change my workplace. And you think, well, that's cool. That's a really brave thing to do. But then, when you talk closer to them, you see that they're doing that because they're running away from the ex-partner that they are afraid to really face, and kind of clear up some of the debris which is left of their relationship. And some of those people are aware, some of them are not. But this way or the other, if you want to make the change that will be like positive for you, you cannot do it because you're not understanding your motives. And then if you don't really know that it's not really a pleasure, but it's running away, then the problem is going to haunt you. And with many things, you're going to see that this is like a rule in your life. If you're not closing some things, if there are open problems that are not fixed, they have tendency to hunt you down. So that's why, first of all, understand, is that a pain or pleasure? And especially if that's a pain, and many of us have tendency to jump into it, just to run away from it, be sure that you understand that you're doing the right thing, because it may not be so obvious. Point number 2, the thing that you need to understand about change is that something that I want to do? Is it my personal thing that I want to work on? Or there's someone that I need to involve in, like your relationship? Because if this is like your personal change, it's your personal change. You just have to work it on your own. Like if you want to lose weight, well, your girl can help you. She can support you. She can cook for you. It's to be easier to lose weight. But anyway, you'll have to do it yourself. The same thing with learning languages or anything that you basically have to do yourself. That's your change, and you have to deal with it. But there are things, like in a relationship, that you want to work together, because it's not going to work if you're going to do it yourself. But then you may mismatch here as well, because if you think that you need to work on something together because it's our thing, because we have issues with communication, maybe you don't. Maybe it's your personal change because you've got problems with aggression, not her. And then you're trying to put it on her, then everything gets complicated, even though it's supposed to be easy. But it can go the other way around. So that's why I want you to kind of be aware. Is that something that I need to work on? Or there's something that I need to include someone, especially the person that you love? And then point number 3, I want you to really not only work on like this, let's say, shallow level, but I want you to go deep. And I want you to really ask yourself, what is the reason that I'm doing this? One being pain and pleasure, but then what is the real root cause that I want this change? Because if let's say you're doing like a personal thing, you want to learn languages. Awesome. What kind of language do you want to learn? Meaning, maybe that's going to be English, German, French, whatever. But then what kind of language do you want to learn? Is that like a general thing or something specialized? Maybe you need like a medical language or a business language. Because then it's going to be a completely different thing that you have to do with it. And then you will really need to understand what do you want to do with this language. Because if you can just go and just pay someone to teach you this language, but then after a year or two you'll say, this is not what I want, this is not what I wanted, it's not what I needed. I think it would be better to just move and not last 3 years, because what I need is like a common language, but you need to be amongst other people. But maybe it's going to be the other way around. Maybe you moved to US, and then after a year or two you'll say, I think I made a mistake. I wanted to learn this, King's English, and I'm supposed to be in London right now rather than in Washington. Or the other way around. Or maybe you'll end up saying, I think I just wanted to learn language, but moving here, that was a mistake. I'm missing my family, my friends. So that's why before you're going to do this massive change, know what is the real reason. And the same thing goes towards relationships. I can ask you, what do you want? What do you need? I need to learn to communicate. I'll say, okay, but why? Because I don't want to argue? Okay, but why do you want to argue? Because I want our relationship to be much more peaceful than it is right now. Okay, but why do you want your relationship to be much peaceful than it is right now? And you'll say, to be honest, I want to have more sex with my girl. All right, cool. Why do you want to have more sex with your girl? And then maybe you get to a conclusion that it's not about the communication. It's not really about the sex. It's about that if you don't have sex, you don't feel close with your girl. It's about intimacy. And then look how different you're going to approach the problem, how different you're going to approach the change. Who do you going to go to ask for help? Where do you going to put your money to invest to find a way to make this change? If the root cause will be completely different, or you will see it as a different thing. So that's why this is what I want you to take from this video. Change is great. If you understand that change is like something that will move you forward and help you be a better person and be in a much better environment, you'll start to appreciate change and appreciate and be able to kind of accommodate it really fast. But then to make this change worthwhile, to make this change make sense, so it would not end up in a completely different place that you really wanted, you'll need to understand and go really deep in what is the reason. Why do I want this change? Is it pain or pleasure? They're trying to run away from something, and that's why I feel that I have to do it right now. Maybe it's good to take time to think about it. And then what is the change? Is it my change, or that I need to work with someone to make this change happen? And then what is the really root cause? What is the real reason I need this? Because if you go deep enough, you'll find that it might be a completely different thing that you thought at the beginning. So to end up where you really want to be, understand that you need to really go through those things and understanding, why do I really want this change? So think about it and do something about it. Because the more you understand why you want the change to happen, the better the outcome. If you like this video, like, share, comment. If you didn't, comment as well. Tell me what you think and what is your experience? What do you think about the subject? And if there's anything you want me to talk about, give me a shout. I'll be glad to do it for you. And that being said, see you tomorrow.